Mud Tech on location here at this brand new basement build. I've been waiting for a foundation like this to make a video about. This must be the garage because you can see how short the walls are versus down in there. I've been waiting for an opportunity like this to make a video about why things settle almost always towards the foundation. We'll just stop right here. See this giant pile of dirt? This was all right here. That giant pile of dirt, that was all dug out to put the foundation in here. Now, this section right here, this is foundation. This is where the front stoop is gonna go. That's why rarely do front stoops settle, because they're on the same foundation as the basement is, as the house is, rather. But if you have a walkway now right up to this and a driveway right up to the garage, and the garage floor will be sitting right on that ledge too. That's why the front of a garage ledge rarely settles. But the driveway right out here, see the hole? When they go to put all this soil and refuse, extra concrete, all this bullshit will go back in. And no matter how much you compact it, no matter how good you do, people will say, I did it in 1 foot lifts. That's good, that's cool, that's the way you're supposed to do it. But you will never get all the little microscopic air particles out of this soil because you disturbed it in the digging process. When the excavator is moving it back and forth, you'll never get all that air out like the soil right here. So you literally have this almost like a center pivot point of a teeter-totter, and then you come along and put slabs on there, and as the soil settles, and it will, gravity, they tend to tip towards the house because they're just following the open hole. And of course the slabs are heavy, that accelerates the problem, and then when it rains, that accelerates the problem. And why does soil settle faster with rain? Because all the little air bubbles float out. If you go outside in a freshly compacted hole like this and look at it when it's raining, you'll see the air bubbles literally going out, and then just over time the driveway settles. And now what somebody's going to say is, yeah, but if they would have pinned it, I'm going to add to this video at the end, I'll have to go back to the shop and get one. That's what pinning is one of the dumbest old practices that's still done. They drill, because the garage floor gets done first, the stoop gets done usually at the same time, and some guys will drill then into the floor. And sometimes it's pathetic. It's like 3 little chopsticks of rebar, and then they go pour the driveway right here, and they conjoin the driveway, which is on top of the ground that moves and settles, to a piece of pavement that's never going to move because it has a foundation which is below the frost line. You never want to join a foundation that doesn't move to surface pavement that does move. Let the surface pavement flex and flow as whatever Mother Nature wants to do with it, and then just plan on when it needs it, or if it needs it. It can go either way. If it needs it, just raise it back up with the process of mud jacking. Do not attach, except it's under an extremely special circumstance, do not attach surface pavement to a foundation. Getting closer to the wall here, just to go one step beyond with that explanation, we have seen where the surface, in this case it'd be the front sidewalk here, in that case it'd be the driveway, we have seen where there's enough friction of the slab being poured so close to the foundation that it's just stuck. It doesn't fall, it doesn't settle towards the foundation because it's got enough friction up against the foundation. But what we see is underneath the slab, all the soil is still settled, and then along comes some big F-350 work truck and cracks right here, this way and this way, because there's literally nothing there. The soil will still settle over time underneath your pinned pavement. That's the other reason you have accomplished no extra good pinning your pavement, your surface pavement, to below surface foundations. The slab might be in place and all the soil under it, the base, will still settle. We have to fill those all the time, trying to prevent the big crack that naturally will happen when something heavy goes on unsupported pavement, because all pavement is supposed to be supported by the ground. It's not supposed to be a bridge. When the soil settles around the foundation, because it will, eventually it will, the pavement may stay stuck there, but you have to fill in that void to prevent the damage. Losing my train of thought here. I think I'll end it here. Come back to the shop here, see if I can find a little piece of rebar. Sure, I'll be able to find some little piece of rebar to show an example of how the pins between foundation and pavement line up. I'll find something here. So rebar is rebar, just like this old scrap pile of stuff here. And what guys do to pin something, they'll take a stick like this and cut a bunch of little pieces like this. And one piece will be in the foundation and the other piece will be poured into the driveway. Literally, when they drill into the foundation or garage floor, sometimes they only go like 2, 3, 4 inches deep, sometimes 6. So you only have this little nub holding thousands of pounds of pavement. And this side is only in like 8 inches at best. You can do it. You can do a longer stick if you want it, but nobody does. And if you had some no-fail situation, specialty case, maybe you could add the pins, because you got to have the perfect transition from here, but you still have to be aware that the soil underneath is going to settle. So to recap, when you're putting a pin into a piece of rebar, that's all it is. When you're pinning your foundation concrete to your surface concrete, you don't really accomplish anything, and you actually set yourself up for failure in the future when the ground that's out here will settle. Like if you look back in the video at the foundation, it will settle and you'll have a big hollow spot right here, and something's going to break that slab. It's not the end of the world, but it's not cool. And the other thing that happens is when they drill in to especially the basement floor, and the driveway sinks like this, the pin, the rebar, literally pops up a big crater of concrete like a crowbar. It takes the surface off with it. I wish I had a picture of a job that I could throw in here for that. I don't, or maybe I could search through some old videos and find a crater of a garage floor to show how when the rebar bends, because it does with all that force, it takes a chunk of your garage floor with it, and it looks really, really bad. I'm gonna pause it here. I think we're good on this video.